Today, I'd like to talk about kind of the setup for the first month of an SEO campaign, the preparation that we do and that you should do when you're starting an SEO campaign. There's a lot of little things that go into these big buckets of items, but I'm going to talk about just a couple of them to help you kind of understand what the groundwork is that you need to lay. And that starts with your SEO strategy. Obviously, the first thing you want to think about is, your products, your services. And we always talk about what's your highest volume, what's your highest margin, and what's your future direction. So in other words, if you sell a lot of a product, it's your bread and butter. You want to focus on that as potential target keywords. The next one is your highest margin. High margin products you may not sell as many of, but they're a nice mix into the process of getting found. And so you want to make sure you think about your high margin products. And then future direction. We talk about future direction as new services or products that you're adding or that you have plans to add in the future. You want to think about the search volume and the activity around those. That could be an initial indicator of whether or not that topic, that service, that product is a good idea, even before you start to prototype it or develop a process for it. Once you have that kind of understanding of your universe, you want to do some competitive analysis. Competitive analysis for us, there's really two types of competitor. There's your true real world competitor that you go up against day in and day out. You submit a quote, they submit a quote, one of the two of you wins. So you're going to have those competitors. You're also going to have your internet competitors. And when we talk about internet competitors, what we're talking about is people that get found for the same keywords. Some of those could be true competitors. Some of them can be competitors that offer your service or a variant of your service, and Google doesn't quite know the difference. But you have to treat them with the same kind of respect, because it could be that someone's searching for that type of competitor versus you, and you're not a good fit for that search. Or it could be that someone's searching for you and finding that competitor. So I'd pay attention to that. In addition to that, once you've done your competitive analysis, then you want to create your keywords. And so you're going to do a keyword analysis to find search phrases for all of the different terms, whether they be competitor terms that they're currently being used, what Google does in the recommend box, what your products and services are called. One of the big gotchas that we see is a lot of times businesses will name their products and they'll have a trademark name or have a unique way of pitching it, but that's not what searchers think of. You want to put yourself in the mind of the searcher, and you want to actually think about how they would type in the words to find you. So that's an exercise you want to do, is type in what you think you would be found for and see if you're found there. And then think about what an individual user, maybe even talk to some people and say, what do you think you would search for if you were looking for a service or a product like mine? And see what they say. And if you get a long list enough, you can figure out what people are really searching for. Once you have that keyword list, that's what you take into your actual optimization of your website, of your link building, of your content creation. So that's where that strategy expands. Some of the other things we do in that first month is we want to make sure that Google Analytics is set up. Not only is it set up, but it's tracking properly. The number one thing we look at is the channels report. It segments your traffic into the source that it came from, whether that's direct typing or organic search or paid campaigns or whatever it may be. And from there in Google Analytics, we want to make sure that we're tracking the goals. And that means how many people either picked up the phone and called you, submitted an inquiry form as a lead, or even purchased a product through each one of those channels. And that can help you understand where your marketing budget should go when it's related to digital campaigns. And then you can actually set a value for each one of those leads. And that will tell you if a particular channel is producing the right lead volume in a cost-effective way related to what you're spending to do that. Now, once you've got those things done, the other thing we like to embed is Google Webmaster Tools. That's going to give you some alerts as to how the health of the site is doing. It's going to give you an idea of the search queries you're being found for, even if you're not being visited, even if you're not being clicked on. Google will report you're being shown as an impression for these particular searches, but you're not necessarily getting clicked on. That's a good thing to know when you're talking about looking at your title tags and your meta descriptions, which specifically kind of work like an ad. You want to be attracted to them. So you need to look at how everyone sits on that first page and how you can differentiate yourself to get that click. Then you're going to build your other strategies around SEO. So you've got your on-page web optimization strategy. You're going to have an internal link building strategy. You're going to have an external link building strategy. You're going to have your content creation strategy. And you're going to build out those aligned to those keyword reports, keyword buckets that you've decided on. And then finally, we want to set up some reporting. Now, you can do that through Google Analytics to send you a regular report, whether that's weekly or monthly. You can also set up a third-party system to show you the ranking of your keywords across Google, Bing, and Yahoo. You can show your ranking against your competitors. So we have that, what's called visibility. So if you are being found more frequently than your competitors for a universe of keywords, that means you have better visibility to your search market. And so once we have all these kind of foundational things done, we can then start to implement the SEO strategies and watch the traffic change. You can tell what's working, what's not working, and make adjustments over time.